Welcome to this pharmacy ownership video on loss. In this video, we will explore some of the main ways your store loses money and look at how we can help to minimize these losses going forward. Loss from both our pharmacy and retail business has a massive impact on the profitability of our stores. Think of your store as a bucket. The items, services, and retail revenue we generate all help to fill this, but loss acts like holes. Covering some of these holes ensures that the hard work and effort store teams put into making this money is not wasted. A big part of understanding and managing pharmacy and retail loss is effective credit claiming. Accurately recording claims is extremely important, as this allows you to analyse trends and identify areas where improvements can be made. This may be through team engagement or even modifying store processes to minimize the biggest areas of loss for your store. In pharmacy, the difference between all prescription charges taken through the till and the charge value that the NHS deduct from our monthly payment is referred to as levy loss. This is made up from a variety of factors. The first one we're going to look at is bundle switching. Bundle switching is where the NHS deduct prescription levy charges from our payments for prescriptions we have submitted in our non-levy bundle. This leads to a loss of revenue and is usually due to the backs of prescriptions being filled out incorrectly or incomplete or inaccurate exemption details being recorded on the PMR for electronic prescriptions. And while on that subject, we know that not managing electronic prescription service (EPS) prescriptions effectively can lead to incorrect endorsements and unclaimed payments, another source of loss. Incorrect processing of prepayment certificates and FP57 NHS refunds can also result in us losing money, which we would have otherwise been entitled to from the NHS. In addition to these factors, there are also other ways in which pharmacies can lose money. Accurate endorsing informs the NHS of the payment that we are claiming for each item dispensed. If we get this wrong, we may be paid less than that to which we are entitled. Uncollected prescriptions may result in either the prescription or the stock expiring. This not only means that patients may miss important medication, but also represents lost revenue and possible lost stock. On average, out-of-date medicines cost us as a company around £1 million every single month. Effective stock management is essential in ensuring we do not lose money through credit claiming and poor processes allowing stock to go out of date unnecessarily. As you can see, pharmacy loss can be caused by a wide range of factors. However, there are key things your team can focus on to minimize loss and optimize operational performance. As mentioned in a previous video, month end is the biggest single transaction your pharmacy will make each month. This goes beyond what happens on the day you submit your end of month submission form, and all of the steps which lead up to this point can help to ensure you are paid correctly for the work you do. Some of the key ways you can affect changes in your store are highlighted in the Pharmacy Loss Checklist available alongside this learning. Retail loss can also have a big impact on your store's profitability. One of the main ways to drive this down is through great stock availability. Maintaining an accurate stock file is essential. Are stock file adjustments being reviewed daily? Are any anomalies being investigated? Staying on top of this will ensure that you have the right lines in your store and reduce wastage. All of these processes are underpinned by the need for an efficient model day. This is the process we follow to ensure that once retail stock arrives in your store, it is processed in the most efficient and accurate way. It's important to follow Model Day in the correct order to reduce the likelihood of poor compliance, as well as to increase the efficiency of your team. This will structure all of the tasks which need to be carried out and assign accountability amongst your team. Protecting the products you keep in store is also extremely important. Theft can have a big impact on your store's profitability, and although this may not always be under our control, there are steps we can take to minimize the risks. Ensuring you have the right product protection in place for your most vulnerable merchandise, and identifying and monitoring your high-risk areas or hot routes is essential. When we think of cash control, ensuring that your team have all the training they need to handle the tills effectively is key. Use your colleague exceptions report to identify those with the highest till usage and complete weekly reviews. In addition to stock loss and cash control, retail waste can be another big contributor towards loss in your store. Regular date checking and effective credit claiming is essential to managing this effectively. Are all products in date? Is stock rotated so that short-dated stock is at the front of the shelf? Check one of your date checking matrices at random. Has it been completed and signed? Ensure that the stock handlers in your store understand the importance of these tasks, and that the largest credit claims made every week are reviewed by you personally. The weekly loss report, accessed through Boots Live, is your key report for all relevant loss metrics on a weekly basis. Utilize the total loss notice board in your store to keep your team aware of key issues and agreed actions to reduce loss. This board should be kept up to date, and a key part of this is regularly completing your weekly Action Shrink Plan, or WASP. Fill out the actions, brief your team on this week's focus, and place this report on the notice board for all your team to see. That brings us to the end of this video on loss. We'll look at how to control your loss in more detail later in the program, but for now, use the information in this video alongside the linked resources to evaluate your business losses, to identify potential opportunities, and implement changes. You may find the Total Loss Tool 2020 useful in helping you to implement changes in your store.